Have you ever heard of Iara, the Lady of the Rivers? She appears with a dazzling presence by the riverbank, holding a comb that can be made of either gold or silver. Her beauty is so mesmerizing that it can enchant fishermen or lead them to their demise. But one of the greatest mysteries is, who could she have been before becoming the guardian of the rivers, and what does she truly symbolize? Stay with me, and together we will uncover the answers. The legend of Iara, the seductress of the rivers, has deep roots in Brazilian indigenous culture, a universe filled with mysteries and connections to nature. More than just a story, Iara represents a spiritual bond between humans and the waters that flow through the vast Amazon rainforest. The name Iara originates from the Tupi-Guarani language and means Lady of the Waters, a title that already reveals the reverence and fear with which indigenous peoples viewed this mythical figure. On the silent riverbanks and under the blanket of starry nights, the indigenous people would tell tales of a woman with hypnotic beauty, long black hair shimmering in the moonlight, and eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the depths. She would appear by the riverbanks, singing an irresistible song that lured unsuspecting fishermen and travelers. But this enchantment came at a price. Those who fell under her spell were never seen again. The figure of Iara symbolizes the hidden dangers of the waters, a reminder that nature, while beautiful and generous, is also untamed and filled with perils for the reckless. For indigenous peoples, she was more than just a tale to scare children or keep hunters away from their territories. Iara was a guardian of the waters, protecting the rivers from uncontrolled exploitation and punishing those who disrespected their balance. The emergence of this legend also reflects the indigenous people's intimate relationship with nature. Rivers were not only sources of food and transportation, but also of spiritual life and communion with the divine. Iara, as the personification of these waters, represents the mysterious and enchanting force of nature that, while giving life, can also take it away. This duality makes Iara a powerful symbol, blending beauty and danger, attraction and destruction. Behind her, legend echoes an ancestral message that remains alive, the need to respect the boundaries set by nature. After all, who would dare to challenge the Lady of the Waters and her irresistible song? Thus, Iara continues to captivate generations, a reminder that the mysteries of the rivers should never be underestimated. Iara is a figure shrouded in mystery and fascination, described as the embodiment of perfect beauty. Her mesmerizing appearance is one of the pillars that sustain her legend, attracting both the curious and the unsuspecting to the dangers she represents. With long black or golden hair flowing like rivers of silk, eyes as deep as the night, and skin that seems to glow under the moonlight, Iara is often depicted as an irresistible woman. Her visage carries an almost supernatural magnetism, a beauty that transcends the human, making it impossible to look away. Every detail of her figure seems meticulously crafted to seduce and captivate. But it is not just her appearance that ensnares souls. Iara's true power lies in her song, a sweet and enigmatic melody capable of shattering the rationality of anyone who hears it. It's as if her voice reaches the deepest recesses of the mind, compelling fishermen and travelers to abandon everything to follow her. This ability not only symbolizes her power to seduce, but also reflects the dangerous allure of the unknown and the unexplored. In many versions of the legend, Iara is portrayed sitting by the riverbanks, combing her hair with a golden or silver comb while singing her enchanting songs. Some versions describe her as part human and part fish, resembling the sirens of Greek mythology, reinforcing the connection between cultures and eras. Much like the Greek sirens, who use their songs to lure sailors to treacherous rocks, Iara is also a dual figure, beautiful but deadly, charming yet perilous. The parallel with Greek sirens extends beyond their appearance and songs. Both figures represent the untamed nature and allure of the waters. They are reminders that beauty can be deceptive and that the greatest dangers often hide behind angelic faces. However, while Greek sirens are often seen as monstrous creatures, Iara possesses a more human aspect in her narratives. She is not merely a predator, but also a guardian of the rivers, symbolizing the balance between the respect and fear that nature inspires. This complexity makes Iara an unforgettable figure. Her beauty and powers are not merely tools of seduction, but reflections of something greater: humanity's desire to understand and simultaneously fear the unknown. Perhaps that's why, even centuries later, she continues to captivate our hearts and minds. After all, who could resist the song of the Lady of the Waters? Behind the seductive and mythical image of Iara lies a story steeped in tragedy and pain, one that few truly know. Before becoming the Lady of the Waters, Iara is said to have been a woman like so many others, marked by a life of challenges, injustices, and bitterness. In some versions of the legend, she was a skilled indigenous warrior, admired and feared for her courage. Her strength and intelligence aroused envy, especially among her brothers, who could not stand to see her shine in a world where male dominance was the norm. Their jealousy grew unbearable, and driven by hatred, they plotted to kill her. Iara, however, stood her ground. In an act of self-defense, she killed her treacherous brothers, but the act brought devastating consequences. Accused of murder, she was condemned by her own people. She fled to the rivers, seeking refuge in nature, but her pursuit was relentless. In another version, the tragedy takes an even darker turn. Iara was a young woman betrayed, a victim of a love that led to her ruin. Her pain, transformed into anger, consumed her until she sought revenge, but ended up paying the ultimate price. Iara's transformation into a mythical figure was not merely a punishment, but a manifestation of the deepest human emotions. Her pain, guilt, and thirst for justice echoed through the legend, turning her into a symbol. According to the stories, when she was cast into the waters, the gods took pity on her tormented soul and made her part of the rivers. But this new form did not bring peace. Her essence, marked by injustice and betrayal, remained. She became the Lady of the Waters, beautiful and deadly, ready to seduce and punish those who crossed her path. The dark aspect of Iara's legend reflects universal human themes. She symbolizes the fear of betrayal, the weight of guilt, and the desire for vengeance, feelings that transcend cultures and eras. More than a mythical figure, Iara is a mirror of human frailty, reminding us that the stories we create are often reflections of our own pain. Her transformation serves as a warning. What happens when the limits of injustice are exceeded, when love turns to hatred and betrayal shatters trust? Iara, before becoming a legend, was a woman with a stolen destiny, and perhaps it is this blend of tragedy and strength that continues to fascinate, evoking empathy and fear at the same time. After all, in every melancholic song that echoes along the riverbanks, a piece of her story seems to resonate, reminding us that beauty and danger walk hand in hand, and that the waters hold truths deeper than we can imagine. The legend of Iara is a fascinating example of how a story can transcend generations, adapting and remaining relevant in different contexts. Originating from indigenous traditions, this mythical figure expanded beyond the Amazonian communities, gaining prominence in literature, music, and even cinema. In the heart of the forest, she was the lady of the waters, protector of the rivers, and a symbol of nature's mystery. Over time, however, Iara was reimagined, becoming a widely recognized figure in Brazilian popular culture. Books and folklore incorporated Iara as a seductive and enigmatic figure, shaping generations' perceptions of the beauty and danger of the waters. In music, she appears as a central theme or inspiration, symbolizing both love and tragedy. In cinema and television, the legend is often adapted, blending elements of horror, romance, and mystery, reflecting the versatility of her narrative. From traditional stories to modern productions, Iara transcends her original role and becomes a cultural icon. The impact of colonization was instrumental in shaping the legend as we know it today. When European colonizers arrived in Brazil, they brought their own mythologies, including mermaids and water nymphs, while Africans, forcibly brought to the land, also contributed their beliefs and legends. This cultural fusion gave Iara characteristics that extend beyond her indigenous roots, combining elements from various traditions. The image of a half-human, half-fish woman, for instance, echoes European mermaids, while the mysticism tied to waters reflects African influences. This blending, however, did not erase her indigenous essence. On the contrary, it made the legend of Iara a powerful representation of Brazilian culture, demonstrating how stories can evolve without losing their soul. Today's Iara bears the marks of a shared history, where the meeting of cultures enriched the narrative without diminishing its original strength. In contemporary times, the legend of Iara remains relevant, not only as a piece of folklore, but as a symbol of respect for nature and the mysteries it holds. In a world increasingly disconnected from the environment, Iara's story serves as a reminder of the consequences of carelessness and exploitation. Her figure continues to inspire artists and writers, proving that even in modern times there is still much to learn from ancient storytellers. The legend of Iara reminds us that behind every river and forest lie narratives that connect humanity to the earth. By preserving these stories, we also preserve the connection to our roots and the mysteries that make the world a fascinating and worthy place of respect. After all, even in the digital age, who could resist the hypnotic call of the Lady of the Waters?